I? This existential examination also happens to be the title of our next keynote by Uma Rudd Chia. Uma is an award-winning creative director who currently heads up the creative department at Weber Shandwick. She's also a LinkedIn influencer, the founder of the Female Idea Movement, a published author, a mother, a wife, and really so much more. Perhaps there is no one better placed to help us answer, who am I? Let's welcome Uma Rudd Chia.
Now picture this. 100 women are sitting in a room waiting for the survey results that they participated in to be released. What was the survey about? It was by Huffington Post to see if these women earned the same as or less than their male counterparts in the same sector. Unsurprising, only 2 women earned the same amount. The rest earned less. You know what was truly shocking? What was truly shocking was the reaction of the women. Less than 20% of the women bothered to do anything about it. Less than 20% of the women went back to their bosses and says, hey, I need to be paid more. Less than 20% of the women went to their HR departments and said, hey, there's a disparity. You need to put steps in place so it doesn't happen. Less than 20% of women went and quit their jobs and looked for jobs that would pay them the same amount. What happened to the rest of the 80% or more? Well, they just sat still and they did nothing. And when one of them was asked, what are you going to do about it? Why are you doing nothing? She said, well, you know, that's just the way things are. That's probably how I am being perceived outside. That's probably my real value. That's my real value. You know, the thing about equity is, if you don't understand your real value, you will not be able to negotiate your equity. You will not be able to negotiate for what's rightfully yours. And in order to understand your real value, you must understand who you are. Who am I? Who am I? Well, I'm 22 years old, and there's a war going on in Bosnia. I'm a journalist, and I want to desperately cover this war. It's ethnic cleansing. Majority of the victims are women and children. Muslim women and children, they're not going to talk to a male journalist, but they will talk to me. So I go to my editors and I argue my case and I say, please let me go. I'm best to cover this. And you know what? My editor, older men, older, wiser men look at me and they tell me, they say, ask your parents. If your parents are okay, you can go. And so I pick up the landline. I call my mom and dad and say, Mom, Dad, can I go on an entertainment junket to London? My parents say yes. And I shout at my editors. My mom and dad said yes. And the next minute I find myself bags packed, being dropped off by a Red Cross helicopter in the middle of a war zone. Now, nothing on CNN could have prepared me for this. Thanks a lot, CNN. I look around me and you know, more than the poverty and the hunger and the lack of shelter, more than that, what was really breaking my heart was the hopelessness, the sense of loss that was so strong and permeating the environment. I felt it. I gave away everything in my bag, even my bag, within 10 minutes. And then I see this guy in the distance, you know, so lost. He's looking like he's searching for something. And for some reason, I think I can help him. So I tap him on his shoulder. He turns around, he looks at me, and there's crazy in his eyes. Before I can say, can I help you? He grabs my shoulders and he slams me against the wall. He reaches into his pocket, he takes out a gun, and he holds it to my head. You know how they say when you're scared shitless and you're going to die, everything happens in slow motion? I was thinking, am I ready to die? Am I ready to die? I was thinking, this is not bad. Okay, I'm living the dream. I'm doing what I want to, and dying doing what I want to is okay. And then I remember, those two people I lied to, my parents, who think I'm on an entertainment junket, the same two people who will resurrect me after I die so they can kill me slowly. I have to live, so I desperately reach into my pocket. I take out my press pass and I say, international press, and I see reason returning to this man's eyes as tears fill his eyes. And I think to myself, I'm going to live. And he stops, he puts his gun in his pocket and he tells me his life story. He's looking for his family. He's lost his wife and his children somewhere in this crowd, in this ethnic cleansing. And I get the most amazing thing, a love story in the middle of a hateful civil war. And that's when I'm thinking, who am I? I come here to show that I am better than the male journalist, or I can do just as good. And I realize, really, I am like these people, a stranger looking for a place to belong, someone looking for a place to carve my own niche, to find a place where I can say, hey, this is me. Who am I? I'm 34 years old, and they say that women don't make good creative directors. In fact, did you know that only 11% of creative directors in the world are women today? Really, really. And here I am, a global creative director in one of the biggest agencies in the world. And they say, when you're in advertising, you can't have children or families. You need to choose between the two, or you can't go far in your career. Well, guess what? I choose both. I choose family and I choose my career. And that's why I would drag my kids to work with me on Saturdays, on weekends, when I'm pulling in the long hours, and they watch their mother stand in front of global stakeholders and do her thing and present her work. So they know that they don't have to choose either. They can be whoever they want to be. In fact, there was one time when I remember presenting my work to this group of 15 stakeholders in a boardroom, and my kids were sitting right at the back. After presenting my ideas, I could see that they weren't really buying into the idea, but my kids stood up and they clapped for me. And immediately that turned the tide. It won everybody else over because they started smiling, and they loved the idea. Who am I? I am a notorious rule breaker. Really, who am I? One of the things I learned is at different stages of my life, as I encounter different people, as I learn, as I grow, as I change environments, who I am changes with me. But there's one thing that doesn't change. Wherever I am at, I am a woman who makes no apologies for who I am. Which begs the question, who are you?